housekeeping is to know your let me use this. Know your Zoom. If you look carefully, you'll see some, if you're using a mobile phone, you're using, most of you may be using mobile phones, you'll see different things. They manage participants, you will see audio, you'll see video icon. I don't have the video and audio icon here. If you want your video to be on, you can use the audio icon and the video icon are always at the earliest, the first things you will see. When you're using a phone, that may be a little different. And you have, if you want to record, I'm the one presenting, and maybe I may just want to do some recording right now. Let's do some recording.
So it's already, it's on record.
I can't see that. Okay, you're recording. Okay. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So you see, if you want to raise your hand up as talking, please go to reactions. You can give thumbs up. There are times I may want you to give a thumbs up. Go to reactions and do that. You may want to clap virtually, and you may want to raise your hand up to ask a question. You can find all those at the reaction. Okay, now before we go into the puzzle, oh no, that's too early. So can Philip help us with the breakout rooms? I want us to first try the breakout rooms, whether everybody can go there. Philip himself can manage that. So let's see. We have 10 persons. Let's see how many. Maybe we put 3, 3, 3, and 4. Maybe we'll have 4 groups. You can break it into 4 groups. Let's see. Have 4 breakout rooms and create them very quickly. Let's see what goes. Just a moment. Can you, since I'm the co-host, I may not need to be there. You may want to reduce that to maybe 3 so that you two may or may not join. So
So it should be reduced to 3.
yeah, can just readjust it to 3. You can cancel the breakout room. I'll start another. It's closing in a while anyway. Some people are having issues coming in, jumping in and out. I hope that people instead of taking the breakout rooms, don't sign out. So most of the time, just to help those of you may be struggling, most of the time the Zoom will do it automatically, will assign you. You just need to join, and we are trying to do that automatically. Let's give ourselves a while. Okay, so you may want to just a heads up. Somebody said I haven't received mine. The breakout room, you'll be signaled to join. So he has broken the room. You just want to join the breakout room. I want to be sure everybody has joined right now. Have you created one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me push people. Can you, Philip, insist, push people who have not joined, go back there and help them join. Go back to the breakout room. Let's try this. And you have the option to cause people to join. Room one, 3 people join. Alex has not joined. Janvier has not joined. Marcel has not joined. Cecilia has not joined. Yeah. So we are learning here. This is getting interesting. Akko Marcel has not joined. I think Cecile has joined. So you are given a prompt. Just take join, and you find yourself in a group. Please let's practice that. That's a learning process. I'm seeing Techno may be alone in the group. Yeah. Akko Marcel, please, can you join the group? Alex, Axel, Mas, can you join the group? Cecile, um, you are prompted already. You have a prompt to join. If you pay attention, it's like people are a little distracted. If you have a signal to join, please follow the prompt and join. Akomase has not yet joined. I want to be sure that he's with us. He doesn't have a problem. If you have a problem, I think I've seen people sending messages in the chat, the difficulties. Let's find out if that is what is going on.
Hello, it seems as the network is disturbing several people. Well, that's quite sad. Someone says he's alone to the room.
Good evening. I'm getting you now.
Sorry.
Okay, Philip, maybe you want to bring people back. Glorious day. Are you sure you're able to sort yourself into a room and come back?
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I don't know in my own section. I don't know. I'm just silent. I don't know. I don't know if it's network that is disturbing. I don't really know.
You know, it should not be network. You're fine. Maybe in your group you were alone. There was no other person with you in your group. People are coming back in, so you should be fine. I want to hear what the difficulty people had. Um, yeah, and let's see. The first thing is you're fine. I think from you've discussed with me, and I feel like I can hear you clearly. So I'm not sure it's an issue of maybe your own network. So you should be fine.
Okay, okay.
Okay. All right. I think we have everybody back here. Um, so any challenge we face, because I'm not going to do this for a very long time. And so yeah, Javier's hand is up. Please go ahead if you have a question. Any challenge, any difficulty?
Good evening, sir. Good
Evening.
evening, everyone. Actually, not that I really I had a difficulty. It's just that in my group, I try like to talk with the person I was with, but the person could not respond. He did not unmute his mic. So,
Okay. Okay, I think that's something we have to make everybody learn how to do. Um, Look, I'm not in a hurry to pump information on you people. I may just speak just a little bit, then I go. But if you have to learn something, we are going digital right now. I know that some of you may really have difficulty, maybe managing everything. Some of you may be using Zoom for your very first time. Some of you may not have you have used Zoom, but you might not have had done breakout sessions. So here is how it goes. If you take your Zoom, the first thing is to understand what's going on. I will want to copy my screen so that I show people what's going on. I know it can be challenging, okay? Um, I'm going to do that for those with laptop, okay? So those of you may not have laptop, we're going to see how to go about it, okay? So let me just quickly show you what's going on. I'll quickly create something new to show you guys what's going on. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to share my screen and explain some options so everybody can see. Oh no, this is the wrong stuff. Okay. Okay, are we there? Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
Okay, so if you go to Zoom, this is how you look like. If you're using mobile phone, you see this option more. Look at my screen, my pointer, where my pointer is. You see this option more. This option more. When you click more, these three dots, you have all these other options. So normally the first thing is your audio. You must know how to on and off your audio. To on and off your audio, you simply click on that icon and you'll be fine. The same thing with your video. If I want my video on, I simply click on that. When it's showing this slashed on it, when it's showing this slash on it, it shows that it is off. If your audio is showing something like this, no, it is off. So for you to put it on, you have to go back and click this icon. Don't panic, don't press things, you don't just click that icon. Um, if you want to, there's some of you are already part of this. If you want any other thing and you don't see it here, if you want to react, if you want to send a chat, all these things are there. You just need to check. Don't take share because there's nothing for you to share. If I want to share something like I'm sharing my screen, that's what share means. I'm sharing my screen for everybody to see my screen. If you want to even know those who are in this thing, you go to the participants there, you can see that. Anything you don't see and you want to see, please click more, okay? You always have this. So let's see, sometimes we're talking and we hear people, somebody is quarreling maybe around them and they really don't know what to do. You want to just mute. If you hear people talking behind you and you don't want that, you just mute. So in the breakout room, when you take breakout, when Philip clicks these breakout rooms, it will show you what to join. Just be attentive, okay, so that you can at least learn something, interact with what we're doing. Yeah, so just pay attention. I know some of you may be here and you're there, you're looking for food to eat, you want me for stuff is going on. That's fine, but if you pay attention, you will see the breakout rooms coming your way. It will always pop up to you that you need to break out. You have to join. Your own is just to join. So join the room that you've been prompted to join and you'll be fine. And when you join the room, unmute. Always remember to unmute. Sometimes you can talk and talk and talk and talk, and then you discover that you're muted. You're like, oops, I'm muted. So and if you want to do something, go back to the icon. It's going to be highlighted. One of the things it is going to turn to this kind of highlight, like you see Cecilia here is when you see like Cecile here, know that she's muted, okay, and which is good. When you're not talking, you mute, but when you have to talk, you want to remember to unmute yourself and and go. So, are we all good? Please just give
Yes.
your thumbs up or
Yes.
your voice, and let's be sure that we are all good. I'm sure you were thinking when we come here, you're going to hear parables about mentorship, quotes on mentorship. Now here you are learning how to use Zoom. And you're like, what? Is it what we came here for? Yeah, someone's hands are up. That is Joycelyn. Is there a question? Is there a challenge? Okay, when someone put the hands up like Joycelyn has put, is when you have a question. You are raising your digital hand up, okay? So if you want to show decor, you can use thumbs up or do other things, yeah, other reaction. Jocelyn, you have a question? Okay, you sent a message before that you have not joined, but right now we are okay. So yeah, maybe you're testing, I don't know, but you're fine. You put your hand down. Okay. So it's okay to test, and if you don't feel embarrassed, if you're testing, just send us a chat. Look, I'm trying to check what is going on here. Technology messes all of us up together, so you're fine. Okay, so with that said, I think we can move ahead now. Um, let's go on. So here's the thing, okay? Um, let me stop this. I need my arrow. Good. Oh, oh no. So just give me a moment. Okay, so here we go. There is something that is present before us. I want to be sure this thing is not disturbing anybody. Can you all see the presentation quite well?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Presentation? Okay, so this is what we want to do right now. There is an instruction here, and here's what you need to do. Take 60 seconds, okay, to find all the numbers 1 to 50. Okay. Find all the numbers 1 to 50. Philip, also be vigilant. Kindly be admitting people in because I see them popping up. 1 to 54. There are no missing numbers or tricks. So on your mark, get set, go. So if you can count 1 to, you can identify all the numbers 1 to 54, you just celebrate. Tell us in the chat that you've done that. Okay, over to you. 60 seconds means 1 minute, just to be sure. When you're done, I shared this today. I had a talk, a conversation. I shared this. I always try to share this when I'm having a talk. I love the idea so much. It reinforces my point, and I want to see how successful some of you may be getting it. Okay, we are wrapping up. I want to see those who got it from the chat. I want to see celebration going on. Oh no, no one got it? You need extra time? What's going on? Oh no, no one got it. Okay, normally they always say the time is too, somebody say the time is too short. Yeah, I understand. Okay, what are we going to do about this time? Okay, now let's do something different. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, now we should be very comfortable right now. Now, if you look at my slide, the same puzzle again at this time, what is the difference? See, we have arranged this Yeah, you need to get it all chronologically, right? You need to count 1 to 54, identify all the numbers. So you're right. I saw somebody send that in the chat. If you didn't get it, you didn't get it, and that's okay. So now there are 54 of these numbers there, and 9 times 6 is 54. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let me give you an example. For example, 1 is in this box. You find 2 here. You find 3 here. You find 4 here. You find 5 here. And so on. When you reach, you start all over again. So let me give you another 1 minute now so you can find all those numbers 1 to 54 using now this chart. If you finish, you celebrate, send that to the charts. No, let's find out what's going on. We have a few more seconds to wrap up. I'm sure many people have gotten all the numbers now. Finished. That's great, Salome. Salome, I'm suspecting you. I think Salome was in the morning. Yeah, so Salome definitely had caught the trick there. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. If you couldn't still sort it out, that is still okay. So what we want to do now is look at the difference between these two numbers and this one, and we want to go now to a breakout session. Go and pour your frustration in the breakout session, complain about it there. Share your experience. Were you frustrated? What was that misery? How can mentorship provide valuable guidance in similar situations? Reflect on specific instances where you face challenges and you thought of having somebody who could help you might have helped you navigate those difficulties, offered you a support, or provide you crucial. So, Philip, can we have the breakout session this time in 2 groups? Just have 2 rooms because people had
2
issues.
rooms. Okay, sir.
Yeah, just break it to 2 rooms. So please, when you get the 2 rooms, unmute yourself, pour your frustration there. I'm going to send what I want people to discuss in the chat so that you can find, if you have challenge, go to the chat. I'm
The
going
links
to
are
make sure
open. You can all join one either of them.
yeah.
Okay.
Please join the room real quick. I'm sending everything. You find the questions in the chat.
Ako Marcel, you have not joined any room. Okay. Jim Torita, you're still to join the room.
I'll
Join.
send the discussion questions. Yeah. Philip, navigate the rooms, gather what they're discussing. You have the option to join any of those rooms. Go back to breakout so that you can help start the conversation. Okay. I'll help those who have not started here to go. So I'll assign her.
Nice meeting you.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. I'm just watching. I'm not part of the group, so you can have a clear session and answer the question.
Hello, Blessing.
Hello.
Please send the question. We don't have a question.
Okay. Check in the chat. Is there in the chat for everyone to see.
Okay.
From the puzzle, number one question says, from the puzzle, share your experiences with others and discuss how mentorship could provide valuable guidance in similar situations. And question two, question one, from the puzzle, share your experiences with others and discuss how mentorship could provide valuable guidance in similar situations.
Okay.
Number two, reflect on specific instances where you face challenges and think about how having a mentor might have helped you navigate those difficulties, offered support, or provided crucial insight to foster your personal or professional growth.
Okay. Thank you.
So I'm sending the question to the chat. You can see it right now. There you can discuss that. Thank you very much. Philip is here, can help you people navigate the whole thing. If you click to your chat, you'll see the discussion questions. Okay.
Hello. Blessings. Would you like to go first? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm speaking to. Would you like to go first?
Okay.
Any
In this group we have, let me help. We have Salome, we have Fatiga, we have Vidwan, we have 1751. So maybe we could, if anybody who opts to yes, can talk.
Oh, I thought it was just two people.
No, you have 6 in the group.
Okay. Okay, I would like to go first then.
Okay.
Okay, so regarding it was very difficult to be to point out the various numbers because they were so scattered and I could not place my head. My eyes were even paining me because the numbers were so many. So it was kind of difficult and it was challenging. But then when the second board came, it was like a guide. I could easily locate the various numbers because I know that 1 is here, 21 will still be on the same box, and 29 will still be on the same box. So it was kind of very easy. It was easier compared to the first slide, which I had to just look and locate the numbers from so many numbers. So I can relate to mentorship because a mentor is someone who gives direction and it guides you and helps you when you have challenges and place you to walk on the right path. Place you to walk on the right path and to do things rightly. So just like this slide that came just to aid, like to help to be able to locate the various numbers. So it's the same thing, the same service a mentor provides, and it shows how important it is to really have somebody who can guide. So some of the challenges I've faced and some of the experiences I've
You
had
have
that
30
really
seconds.
Hello?
You have 30 seconds left, 25 seconds.
Say please, I'm not getting.
You have 18 seconds. Any other thing to say? Hello?
Say please come again. Yes.
I'm saying that the time is over.
Okay. Sorry.
Now, I would like to hear from some of your conversations, okay? But, I gathered from some of the conversations very interesting things there. I hear people say things like, in the first time I tried to, this first puzzle, they're able to get from 1 to maybe they reach from 1 to 13 or 10, and then the second puzzle they even went up to 40, and that's okay. And I hear people got frustrated, and I like that. That's what I really want you to experience, to feel that frustration, to feel like, I okay, to feel like I'm really getting stuck here. Now, some people may be wondering, no, all the numbers are not there. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Somebody said maybe your number is missing. So when you finish on 18, you go back and start from 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So I won't spend time. If you go back, you can always play with that. The question I asked both of you all to discuss in your different rooms was this. From the puzzle, share your experiences with others and discuss how mentorship could provide valuable guidance in similar situations. I know some of you were frustrated. I was hoping that you reflect on specific instances where you faced challenges and think about how having a mentor might have helped you navigate those difficulties, offered support, or provided crucial insight to foster your personal or professional growth. There were two groups. I would like to hear from volunteers in one of those groups to maybe summarize the thoughts in 1 minute, maybe the main things that stood out to you from your discussions. From what the group where you are, I just need one person to represent that group. From the other group, I also need another person to represent. So who is talking? You can unmute yourself, please. Do I have to call names? I see people take note this, take note that. Like,
Okay, well, I'll speak for my group. I
okay.
was there with Janvier, with Marcel, and Glorious. So we just felt like, and this was across the board, it was difficult in the first instance because we did not have any form of guidance. We were trying to figure things out on our own, and most of us got to the 13th number. But after we had the display, the illustration you gave us, that made things a lot easier. Personally, I was able to get to number 45 before
Oh,
the
wow.
time. Yeah, and that was the same across the board. So the lessons we learned and noticed in having a mentor is that it makes things easier for you. It allows you to go through a path committing less mistakes than you would have if you went there by yourself. And it also increases your accuracy in whatever it is that you're doing. So basically, that's what we gathered.
Great points. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Who is talking for the other group? Okay, Cecilia, you've been brought to the spot.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Evening.
Actually, I was the only one that had the opportunity to speak because the time was short.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so like I was saying to my team members, when the first slide was given to us to trace the numbers, it was kind of difficult. It was very hard because the numbers were so many and it was confusing. And my eyes was kind of disturbing because I got confused. So it was difficult. I didn't even see number 10. So it was a lot easier when the second slide was introduced because it was like a guide and I could easily locate the numbers. I knew that, okay, if one is here, 11 will be here, 1 will be here, 23 will be here, 21, sorry, will still be, the first box. So it was kind of easier. So I was able to get to at least 40 something.
Mm.
So, okay, from the experience from the puzzle, I would say that it's the same thing when it comes to mentorship. Because when we don't have somebody to direct or we don't have somebody to guide and to like lead us and help us to end the goal, becomes very difficult. But when somebody is there to guide and somebody is there, that if you have challenges, you can easily go back to and explain your situation or explain certain things that are happening. It's going to
Je dis ça par rapport à moi parce que c'est mes parents qui me payent la fac.
and it's going to help you to be able to move forward in life. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was great. That was a great insight there from you two. Those two things, those ideas you all have brought, is leading me to the next thing. What is mentorship? In fact, Mike Murdoch, one great author, he said mentorship is learning without pain. Okay. The truth is that mentorship doesn't restrain you from doing your own job. A mentor will not do your job for you. If you are to count from number 1 to 54, a mentor is not there to reduce the numbers for you. The mentor is just there to offer you guidance, okay? So that what others may be struggling with, you will still go through that same process in terms of growth, in terms of all that calculation that goes on with life, but now you have more guidance. So what is mentorship? Mentorship is more of like a developmental relationship, okay, in which a more experienced or knowledgeable person, and this knowledgeable person is a person we call a mentor, helps guide the less knowledgeable or experienced person who is the mentee. This relationship is designed to foster, it could be to foster personal growth or professional growth. And sometimes, and in personal growth, it can go to spirituality, okay? So for the mentee, and there are a lot of things the mentor does. There is guidance, there is advice, and there is support. These things can happen different times. Mentorship can take place in various contexts, including educational, professional, or personal settings. There are equally different types of mentorship styles. If you look at what I've done, that's just one type of mentorship style. Carry you through. Maybe I first present something challenging to you, then I'm asking you, go ahead and sort yourself out. So I'm like, oh no, I don't like that. So there are several types of mentorship styles. Number one, we have one-on-one mentorship. Is the most traditional form where a mentor works directly with a single mentee, okay? Some of the benefits are you have attention. There's some of you who really like attention. You have personalized attention. You have tailored advice. And then you have a kind of strong one-on-one bond. But what we are doing here, perhaps part of what we're doing here could just be some sort of group mentorship, okay? Like what we're doing here. One mentor guides multiple mentees at once, often in a group setting like what we're doing here. It may not be for every time, it may not be every day, but you're learning something. Diverse perspective, shared learning, and group mentorship can also be a peer, like your friend. It can be somebody who is more knowledgeable. It can just be a good advice. Shared learning experiences is some kind of mentorship. Other opportunity for mentees to support each other, like I shared you guys into different groups. I know, like they'll ask you, this is your turn to speak. Some of you don't like to speak in public. You like to reserve your point, but somebody will tell you, please, it's your time to speak right now. And you have to speak, okay? We also have what we call peer mentorship. This one now is really peer. Is not just a group type setting. It's more of one-on-one. Colleagues or individuals at similar stages in their careers or education can support each other. You get frustrated. Sometimes you go to friends. I'm like, I feel frustrated. I don't know what's going on. And they can, you people are in the same level, but you're not going through the same experience. So the person is in a more stable mental, spiritual, or social. You may be really broke. You are all in level 2 or level something in your university, but you're so broke, or your parents are going through some kind of challenges. You guys are both in the same level, but you are tapping in, because mentorship also offers support. So you're tapping into your friends, your peer experience, his comfort, and other things. You're tapping into that. The issue about the benefit about peer mentorship is relatable. The person can understand quickly where you're experiencing that. The person understand how it hurt. Like, the person knows. Like I told you guys, go and share what you experienced. Most of you had the same experience. Some of you were more successful in counting those numbers. Others were less successful in completing those numbers, but you guys have the same similar frustration, right? Like, we all ended here, but now fine. So we also have mutual support, collaborative, and problem solving. We have what we call reverse mentorship. A younger or less experienced individual mentors a more senior or experienced person. This is really not the case in most cases. So fresh perspective, sometimes it just really, this one happens maybe like, you have lost ideas, and you're working with a subordinate, and you really need something, and the person comes. This is more of an informal, um it's really not intentional for reverse mentorship. There's fresh perspective, up-to-date knowledge on emerging trends. Like, you can offer some kind of, we say mentorship, but sometimes, like, you are a tech savvy, and then you're living among very old people who need your help to understand technology, and you find yourself giving them some kind of mentorship in that regard to keep them up to speed. And that's different from controlling them. You don't expect them to report to you about everything about their life. It's just like they can tell you, oh, please send me more information on how to even open this WhatsApp. And you're like, don't you understand this thing? So there is also what we call e-mentorship. Like, most of what we're doing now with technology, mentoring relationship conducted primarily through digital spaces, emails, video calls, online platforms. Like, part of what we're doing right now, there's flexibility, accessibility, the ability to connect across geographical distances. We also have what we call more formal mentorship programs. You may also join a mentorship program, a program that is designed specifically to help you. It's a structured program within an organization. Maybe you've joined a job and they need to do some kind of onboarding for you. They are mentoring you to get to the next level, to know the job. Institutions that match mentors and mentees based on specific criteria. Benefit is that there are clear goals, there's accountability, there is a supportive framework. And then there is informal mentorship. This is naturally developed mentorship relationship that evolve without formal arrangement. It just happens, right? It just happens. Sometimes there can be some kind of organic means from the depth, right from inside, flexibility, and it can even grow to become long lasting. And then we have what we call situational mentorship. This is interesting. It's more short term, and then focus mentorship for specific situation or challenges. You're going through challenges. You want somebody to listen to you. You want to talk to someone. Just targeted advice, quick problem resolution, and relevant expertise. You don't need something every time. Okay, now there are some mentorship experiences. Okay, you have some. Now, this is so interesting. After this, you'll be going to a conversation to discuss your experiences with others. So you want to pay attention to this. There is something we call hand holding. Somebody who is micromanaging you. Some of you may not understand this. It's real. Somebody is micromanaging you, is hand holding you. If you don't report to him when you ate your last meal, the person is not happy. If you don't, the person wants every pinch of your life. You see, it's like micromanaging you. That's some kind of situation some of you may be. Another some mentorships which in the real sense should not be really mentorship relationship. I don't count this micromanagement to be a good mentorship relationship because the issue is that you keep treating your other younger people. If, for instance, let me say this, if for instance you experience hand holding and micromanagement, that somebody is micromanaging you, he wants everything, now the issue is that when you grow under this kind of mentorship, that is what you're going to give to other people by all probability, except you break off. You want to be micromanaging people too. You get so offended. I see to people even in churches, my mama, we're not doing well again because I wanted to travel. I did not tell my mama, so she was afraid, she was angry at all my papa or whatever. You get into that kind of places where somebody wants, so other people are controlling, report every step to me, or else you're like fired. We are no longer mentors again. And then some other mentors are hands off. I guide you when you need it, and that's fine. Other mentorship they are in a very toxic relationship. You see, mentors, this what we call passive aggressiveness. They are into a situation where there is microaggression. You don't see it, but you know that the person is talking to you, the relationship is not nice. It's like Haggai and Sarah. When Haggai knew that things are bad, conditions are critical, she could see how you can feel it, right? There's when things are not going well with somebody, you can feel the person becomes, there is a kind of little aggression, but the person is so technical that you need to be smart enough to know this person is either a passive aggressive person or he's having that. Passive aggressive people can laugh with you, but they say some things and do some things which I don't know. Okay, now let's try it again. This time I'm going to give you 5 minutes because after this I'll speed up again and wrap up. Philip, we I want to be sure my eyes are on time. So the next breakout session is, what are your preferred mentorship styles if you have any? What have you experienced and how have they impacted impacted your personal and professional growth? Have you had mentorship? From what we've discussed, what kind of mentorship have you had? Is it something you look up to? Is it something you give? You may be a mentor, not just a mentee. How do you pass out mentorship? How do you look at that? And what have been your experience? It's good to share these things. It's good to know. I didn't just come in today to throw everything I know you. I want you to discuss with other people too and find out. So, Philip, let's do that. The two groups again. It should go back to the same people. And let's give ourselves 5 minutes this time.
Relationship. Personally, I've never been, and so I don't really know how that works. But I do know that when you're in a mentorship relationship, if there's something you're trying to learn, you're definitely going to learn it faster. You're definitely going to learn it more accurately than if you were trying to learn it yourself. And the closest thing I've ever come to a mentorship relationship was when I was in boarding school. I had a big, when I was like in Form 1 and Form 2, and he was just great. He was just a very nice person, very disciplined, very smart. very directed, and he tried to organize my life in that way. And I think that I really enjoyed that relationship. That's the closest I've ever come. So how about you, Janvier?
Mm, as for me, yes, I've had people that I look up to, but not really like we went into a mentor relationship. No,
Mhm.
I really look up onto them, and some of them I even went closer to them, telling them, "Sir, I think you can guide me in some areas. You can help me. You'll be the one to help me." Some they said, "Okay, we'll see how we can sort it out. We can work out." But it was to me, it was like I need to force myself on them. So I just have to just quit them. So the mentor relationship with me, though I admire them, and what I've been trying to do with them is like, let me just find out how they did, how they have been doing, like to reach to that extent,
The
though they
level.
are not open up, yeah, to
Mhm.
that level. Some of them they are not like they don't want to like share or so on my own. I've been trying like so. It's I didn't. I've not really enjoyed the mentorship relationship, but I really like. I really like. I know you need to look up onto some people. You need to like have a mentor. That's it.
All right. So Rita, you can go next. Rita. Okay, Philip, sir. Please fill us in.
Okay, for me, I've been in several mentorship relationships. I've been into formal, in fact, I am in a formal mentorship relationship program. Oh, is Rita on? Is Rita is on? I can just mute my mic.
No, sir, it's okay. Just keep going. She'll go last so we can manage time.
Okay, so I've been into formal. I am in a formal mentorship relationship program, and also on a mentorship in need relationship program, whereby I contact my mentor only when I'm stuck at some point and I need his help. So these are the two mentorships I've had, and it has really, and also I'm also in a group mentorship program also, and this has really I would say they have greatly helped to shape my mind, make me more accountable, and has pushed me from my comfort zone, and also brought me to a level of accountability to correct some my perception and make and understand that where I think is not always the way things are, and it has really helped to shape my results and make me more productive.
All right. I hear. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
So Rita, if you're available, please. We'd like to hear from you. Rita, are you there? Okay. So, since you're the only one who has been in a relationship, sir, we would just have some questions. Janvier, if you have any questions, you can just ask him, and then I'll ask a few so that our time does not run out.
I don't think I have a question like for now.
We are left with 30
Okay.
seconds.
Okay, sir. So, sir, apart from accountability, which is actually, of course, very high up there, and something that personally I believe is a huge requirement for great success. But apart from the degree of accountability, what else can you really say mentorship has shifted you in
Just like what we
positively?
saw, since we're left with 10 minutes, just like what we saw, right? It has helped me to speed my results and to have clear information, necessary information to get some certain things done.
I want to imagine that for the few minutes you all had, you you could hear from, even if you didn't have all the opportunity to talk, at least you could hear others talk, and you benefited from the conversation of other people. I have to fast track things a little bit because I want us to stay within the time. We started a little late and we've been struggling to manage So we were sharing experiences. So I'll be coming back for people to give me their own opinions about that. I like to hear those experiences because when we do this kind of exchange, it helps me to understand what's going on. Even if I'm coming to do a kind of presentation again, I understand the kind of frustration people are going through. I understand what people are really looking for into mentorship. So please put a pin on some of the conversations you all had. You may write it down in the chat. I would like to hear about that in a while. So I'll be moving now, building mentee and mentorship relationship. I can imagine you're still seeing my screen. So to build that relationship, there are a couple of things we need to do. Number one, you have to foster open communication. There may be need for regular check-ins. And the regular check-ins is not only the mentor checking on the mentee, there should be mutual check-ins. Schedule consistent meetings if you have to, discuss progress, challenges, and provide feedback. Also, there should be a need for active listening. Both parties should practice active listening, showing empathy, understanding towards each other's perspective, build trust and respect. I was somewhere and I asked some other people, some other students, a group of people I was teaching mentorship to, and what was the most important thing in a mentorship relationship? Most of them said trust, trust, trust. I'm like, why is this? It's important, okay, to build that trust factor. So be honest. Honesty and transparency are key to building trust. Both mentor and mentee should feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and experiences without feeling that they'll be bullied or shut down and stuff like that. Show appreciation, acknowledge each other's effort and strength and contribution, and reinforce a positive and respectful, dynamic relationship. Provide guidance and support. Share knowledge. Mentors should provide insight, advice, and resources to help the mentee grow, and the mentee in reverse should respond to those resources. Encourage independence. This is so important. You are not looking for mentorship to be spoon-fed. The goal about mentorship is like let's go back to that image. That's why I love that image. The numbers, it's to provide you guidance. I'm not to do the numbering for you. I'm providing guidance for you to do the numbering yourself, to count those numbers yourself. Okay. So I'm encouraging you to independently do it. I want you to take ownership. So support the mentee in developing their own problem-solving skills and decision-making abilities. I will not be happy if every time you want to take every step, you doubt yourself, you distrust your ideas, you don't trust your every part. I know there are times we need time to build confidence because maybe the environment in which you grew never gave you the opportunity to build confidence. With time, you're going to develop confidence in your dreams, in your pursuits. Yeah, but one of the reasons in having mentorship is to help you if you need that to develop that self-confidence, believing in your ideas, understanding your principles and the things you can do and stand for, understanding your own call and your own assignment and pursuing that. Be flexible and adaptable, adjust as needed, be open to changing, change the structure or the focus of the mentorship if it's not working, evolve, let the goals evolve with new challenges, and stay patient, understand that growth and progress take time, be patient with yourself and in the process. Celebrate achievements. If your mentor, your mentee, the success of other people should not frighten you. Your mentor or your mentee is growing and achieving something. You want to achieve that. You want to appreciate that. Recognize and celebrate the mentor's achievements and progress, and even the mentee's progress and achievement too. Reflect on growth. Periodically review what has been learned if you want to, if you have to, and how both parties have benefited from the relationship. Plan for the future. If you need to, discuss next steps. And then if you feel like, I think I have achieved what I wanted to achieve and I want to move forward. I don't want our relationship to be I want it to be lifelong, but I have outgrown this particular stage in my life. I want to move forward. You want to know how to maintain the connection. So the difference now between mentorship and role models, here is it. Mentors and role models provide such principles, support, and advice to what we call proteges, that is mentee, but they play by different rules, meaning mentors and role models, that should be role models, not rules, are really the same. So role models, they provide inspiration from afar. They may not be closer to you, you just admire them and they just inspire you from afar. They also provide observational influence. You just observe them and you feel like you want to continue in that direction. They provide indirect interaction, you maybe from television, maybe from social media, maybe from their books. They act like role models. And we also have mentors, but mentors, they have they provide more of personalized guidance and support. The mentors are invested in your growth, in our growth. They provide more of a tailored assistance. Mentors hold us accountable. Mentors hold us accountable. That is what you should be able to understand. They challenge us to improve and they provide constructive feedback. I want to go to the cure and A right now, but before I do that, I mean, there could be some questions you want to ask me, but before we get into that, I want us to do some discussion. There is one discussion I have left out, the biggest spoiler of mentee mentorship relationship, and in what instance do you need the role model more than the mentor and vice versa. We will not go into that breakout right now. But what I want us to do is I want to hear from you, okay? What has been your experience from those questions, the first discussion we had? What are your preferred mentorship styles and experience, and how have they impacted your personal growth, personal and professional growth? So, yeah, I would like to hear from you guys, and then from there, we can take questions, and then we call it a day. I've had a very busy day myself, so I can't wait. Yes, someone has asked a question. We'll come to that. So I want to hear from you first. What did you discuss in your last breakout session? What happened there? What insights came? Was it helpful? What did you gain? I'd like to also hear that from you all.
Okay, sir. I would again speak for my group.
Okay.
And thank you for the opportunity. So, this time I was in a breakout with Janvier, with Sir Philip, and with Rita Chimbom, I think Rita. Rita did not get to speak, but personally, I've never been in a relationship, in a mentorship relationship. I've always had a very strong sense of self, and that has dissuaded me from mentorship relationships in a way. However, I had a beak when I was in dormitory school, and that's the closest thing I've ever come to a mentorship relationship, and it was great because he was really inspiring and he embodied most of the values that I wanted. So, and he tried to inculcate those into me, but that relationship was not very long. And then Sir Philip spoke about a mentorship relationship he's been in and how that not only increased his accountability, which we all know is a serious thing if you're trying to gain success, but he also said it helped him get results much quicker. So those are some of the things we spoke about. Janvier said he had reached out to mentors before, but they were unwilling to share. So he reached out to a couple of people, but he felt like he had to constantly force himself on them. And so it killed the relationship and it didn't work from him or for him, but it's something he has considered and would like to do. So that's what we discussed in our group.
Thank you so much for that rich insight. Will Cecilia want to share on behalf of our group too?
Give me once more. Okay, I was paired with Audrey and others, but it seems their network was disturbing. So Audrey said she prefers personal mentorship, and it's better for her to, like, when she's in need, to get to her mentor. She does not like a mentorship relationship that is aggressive, or that she has to report everything to the person. So that was what she said. Okay, personally to me, I also prefer personal mentorship. And also I prefer my mentors checking up on me and also getting to him when I'm in need. Not just me getting to him also. Just like you should check up on me so that you see what is going on in my life. Uh, okay, so for my experiences, I've had so many experiences. Sometimes I remember when I just gave my life to Christ, it was very difficult. The first year was okay. The second year wasn't okay because the person that was helping me traveled. So I had to look for somebody to help me. So I faced so many challenges. I spoke to certain people, they accepted, but they did not do anything. So I just let it go. But right now it's going well, but just that my mentor is busy, is going to school, is pastoring a church, and many other things. So for now, I'm just holding on there. But when I'm in need, I get to him and he comes through for me. So it's been beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Those are very interesting insight, and it helps me to understand the kind of perspective, because sometimes we prepare presentations like these and we feel like these are superb presentations, and
Yeah.
yeah, maybe in a sense they are, but we also want to know what's going on, what people are experiencing, how people are viewing these things, and how it's really affecting people. Now, I really appreciate the honesty you have put into these conversations. These are some of the things that are so personal to you all, and you've really brought out those things to share those experiences, and I really do appreciate them. There are a couple of things I want to point out, and from those contributions, one thing I wish to point out is number one, mentors, especially people who are going very far, they can be very busy. Okay. So there is, because now, before I get into that, taking mentorship responsibility, it's a lot of work. And if I'm not ready, I don't do it, because people don't see it. People don't even see that if you can, like when Philip invited me for this talk, I told him, you go do your homework, because I spend 2 to 3 hours preparing this presentation. And then I still have to put in 1 more hour and more going through. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. The half of my Saturday, almost half or more, has been dedicated to this. That's a lot of time. So, and when we do a thing like that, you want to get feedback, okay? You want to get positive responses. Now, um, so at times you may call me to do something and I say, no, I'm not doing it. You know, people don't understand that as accepting that can be a lot. Your hands can be full, and you get into more people whom you cannot help. All right. So personally, what I did was, when I discovered that I can be very busy. Some of you are even complained that you are busy. I can be so busy, crazily busy. So when I discovered that there are many people who are needing my attention, sometimes I bring them into group and review. And then when we have something specific, I take them one-on-one. I know that most of the time we want privacy, we want other things and stuff like that, which is absolutely good. And you all have really made me to also think about mentorship again from a very fresh perspective. From most of your feedback, you all are really craving for kind of personal touch. And I think I saw one question there. And please, you can send your question in the chat. And very soon, when I finish this these points I'm making, you can raise your hand and ask your question directly. Otherwise, but let me just go into that question. Sometimes you may like you want a mentorship. You also want to define what you want from a mentor. Like when you say, I want my mentor to be checking up on me, you want to be sure that the person has the time to do that. If not so, you want to get to a relationship with other mentors who have the time to do that. Like there are some mentors that are hands off, they are hands off. I can be hands off myself. Especially when it's maybe you judge that this person should be mentoring others too. So you want to come to a point in your own life where if you really feel like this person um I'm the kind of person who wants the personal contact, I want the consent, and you want to really separate that, because if it is mentorship, you want to know that is it's more of a professional kind of thing. And yeah, you guys can decide that let's meet once in a month for 15 minutes, for 10 minutes, and you got to discuss what works for you too, okay? You may be a person who wants something really personal, but the person may not have time to check up constantly. You may want to ask other methods that will make the mentorship meaningful to you. Do we meet once in a month, twice, depending on the person availability? You can always do that. And for how long? Okay. And what are the agenda before you meet, so that the few times people meet, you have something meaningful in your relationship, because some people will never want to waste their time in something that is not meaningful to them and to you. They may not have the courage to tell you that, look, this relationship we are having as mentor is not meaningful. You don't have any challenge. There's nothing really pressing going on with you. You're just fine. Go ahead, pursue your goals. And you may need to find out that sometimes we don't define what we want. We want a lot of good things, but we don't define them. We're not clear about them. So you want to ensure that you're very clear about the kind of relationship you want. And then if you're knocking at the people's door, don't get aggressive, don't get offended. If people may not be paying attention to you, life can be really busy. Life can be really busy. So if you also want to be patient with them. And like Javier mentioned in his asking his question, that I keep knocking at them, I keep wishing them to be my mentor. But some of them will accept, and they may not keep live up to that. Yeah, that happens a lot, because it's for somebody to take on you to mentor you, that's a lot. The truth is, that's a lot. That's a lot. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes commitment, it takes sacrifice, because that person is bringing a lot of wealth of knowledge to offer to you at no charge. That's a lot of commitment. So and especially as you get into this kind of relationship, you also want to really appreciate that. You want to appreciate that, and you don't take those opportunities for granted. You make maximum meaning out of any contact you have with that person. The person may be talking with you and laughing and going about these things, and that may just be all for a month before he really gives you that kind of time. So you always have to tap into that. And it's really difficult when you really reach out to people for help constantly, and maybe they're busy. I'm really sorry, Javier. I don't know how to do that. It's difficult to control them. They have their own life to live. It's difficult to really insist that they want. Maybe you look for other people who are less busy. And that is why we are trying to raise up a different generation of people like you, who need to understand that young people need help, they need attention, they need people they need to talk to. Yeah. So any other question? I'm sure it may not be the kind of answer you may be expecting, but sometimes I feel like that's the best for it. Yeah, Philip.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for all which we've learned so far. So my question is, because once you spoke on one of the points you spoke on was that there should be a mutual interaction between the mentor and the mentee. The mentor should, the mentee should only go when he has troubles, but he should also check up on the mentor. Now, my question is, in the case whereby your mentor happens to be some form of an international figure, whereby, like just as you said, his program is quite tight, and you can see him like twice a year or 3 times a year, but you see him before going to see him, it's like you had a catalog of things you will ask him, and certain things you want to talk with him, and just like you say, he can give you just 5 minutes, and that's all. Till even, and he may even travel from a distance just to go see him. So in that kind of relationship, how can you as a mentee not play your own part, not just going to ask questions, not just going to get solutions? How can you also so I don't know, emotional availability, or also care for your mentor in such a relationship whereby it's so restricted?
Yeah, the issue is that there are, especially when by the way, thank you for that question. Especially when you have a mentor who is, you need to understand, as people are growing, you also need to grow with them. That's something we need to understand. Paul said something in the Bible in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. He says, when I was a child, I thought like a child. I acted like a child. I did things like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. There are times that as your mentor is growing, you also need to grow. Because what do you want from that relationship? If the person is really busy, you really need to define what you want from the relationship. Because the issue is that sometimes we are not really definitive. You need to define. There are a lot of people, and the truth is that we don't need many great people with titles and a lot of accolades to become mentors. You just need one person who has something you need, who can be invested into you, and get you what you want. If you're meeting with somebody, a mentor who you can see just about 3 times a year, you want to find out what do I really want to gain from this relationship. Sometimes it may just be to increase my network. And don't think that anytime you ask question to someone, then that automatically runs into a mentorship relationship. So that leads me to, how do you benefit from, or show, some people, they really don't need anything, right? There are times that maybe your mentor is this international figure, and you want to watch out. Then if it's in this international figure, then it should be more of a kind of, not a personal mentorship, it's more of a professional mentorship, right? It's more of a professional mentorship. So you want to watch out some of the things that happen with him. Maybe his progress, he's doing presentations, he's doing some things, he's accomplishing something great in his own professional life, and you want to keep an eye. And you need to, that's when those things happen, you send the person a very cold message, cold email, recognizing you're following up on the person. That's hard to do, because some mentorship mentors don't really want you to get up in the morning and say, good morning, I was just saying hello, hi. They really, they would be angry, but they feel like, okay, maybe you get busy with other things. Sometimes this is not even about mentorship. People will come into my inbox and say hi. I also say hi. And I'm like, what do you want? Say it. When you say hi, and then they go behind and they're like, I said hi, and he didn't say anything, but I said hi too. You wanted me to start a conversation, but you didn't. Sometimes you need to define. Sometimes I go to I check my Facebook messages. I'll come and see somebody say hello. I also go and say hello, and the person will come out and say hi, and I'm like, come on, you know, people. It's good to check on people. I love the hello, hi, but when you look at it, sometimes people want more, but they're assuming. Just go ahead. Look, hello, hi, I'm contacting you for this thing. Look, in life, there are times the Bible says the kingdom of God suffer violence. If you begin to keep a lot of procedure, I have to say hello 5 times before I say what I want. If not so, the person may think that I am. No, please look, if that person is interested in helping you, immediately you greet the person once and present your point. That person is still going to help you if he wants to help you. Don't while your time and waste your time. Don't invest a lot of energy in a mentorship relationship that's going nowhere in the first instance. A person who is not invested, who is not interested, who is busy, you don't want to do that. So yeah. And someone is also asking, is it okay to have more than one mentor? Absolutely, but it depends why you want to have maybe 5 or 6 or 10. There are people that they need mentors. For example, I have mentees that I supported them as they were growing up in the faith. I supported them even as they maybe when they are getting married. I support them in other things. But in terms of their professional life, they may be picking a profession that has nothing in the world to do with me. I expect them to look for mentors that are or role models. If they don't have mentors around, they should have local mentors around. They should look for role models. I expect them to grow in those different aspects. I cannot meet their needs. And the truth is that don't think that mentors have all the answers. They don't. That's the truth. That's something mentors don't have all the answers. For example, that's something I think I will discuss with Philip in a while ago. When, for example, somebody comes to you and brings a problem that you don't, it's not in the area of your expertise, you want to know what to do, how to approach that, how to navigate that, because the fact that you're a mentor does not mean you have absolute knowledge in everything. You don't have all the answers. There are times things will happen to your mentee, you have no answers to that, but sometimes just the support that, look, in this situation, I don't understand what is going on, but I will support you. I'll give you the support you need. You have my support. Just that word of confidence could be just enough. You have my support. There are times I was going myself. There were times I went through some really difficult situation, and I had somebody, walk up to me when I explained that situation. He called me and said, "Look, you have my support." The person didn't give me money. The person didn't give me anything, but I needed support at that time more than money, more than anything, because sometimes the first thing about you getting healed is people who can accept that you have a problem and that problem is real. When people don't even recognize that you have a challenge, it's more difficult, it's more frustrating, because you try to explain what you're going through, they have no idea about it. That becomes more frustrating. So having someone who can even acknowledge that you have a problem, you have a challenge, and the person who is able to give you the support, sometimes it's just all what you need. So yeah, why not? You should have more than one mentor if you need to. You just need to define the relationship, and there's no point knocking their head together. And it should not be that you ask a mentor, you are deciding whether you should put the cork of this pen like this or like this. Yeah, I mean, normally it should be like this, right? But you feel like whether you put it like this and whatever, you don't go to one mentor and ask him, hello, ma, hello, sir, do you want me to put this cork like this? He says, yeah, why not? If you like to. And then you leave it, you go, I ask the other person that, do you want me to put this cup like this? The person say, yeah, that looks to be the right side. Now you say, and then you come and say, the person who have told you to put it like this is not having experience. Who told you? Who told you that if you keep this pen like this, it will have any, is it going to cost any, even if you put this pen like this in your bag, the rate of it flowing, it's so minimal that you cannot say that that person has no experience because he has asked you to keep the pen like this, because that person might just be respecting your opinion. If you feel comfortable with that, go ahead. He may be the liberalist who tells you, go ahead and do it. So you don't want to take one simple thing, because every mentor will give you advice based on his experience and based on a collection of things. So you don't want to be knocking the heads of people together and despising other people. You need to also trust your mentor as you want your mentor to trust you. If you tell your mentor something, you don't expect him to go behind your back and ask. The same thing if you come, before you come up with to that person, if the person does not have a good answer, he should be honest enough to say, look, I've given you this answer, but you may want to check up with other people too, who may have more experience than myself in this area. And that's still okay. But if the answer is something that any other person can answer it, but you want a particular kind of answer, I don't think that would be a good reason to have more than one mentor. But if you feel like I need mentors in other areas of my life to support where my current mentor may not, you may want to also discuss with him if you want to, or her if you want to, like, do you have some recommendation in mind? I'm looking for someone who can support me in this area. I want to grow in this other area too. The person may support you and recommend people to you. If you can handle that alone, absolutely. Any other question?
Hello, sir. Can I ask a question by Okay, thank you so much for your presentation and the insights you've given so far. They're quite awesome. Ooh, it seems, let me just give me a quick, let me kind of switch my data because I've been informed my internet is finished. No, it's not finished. Okay. Well, I also wish to apologize to my other team group members for my silence. Well, I can say it was intentional, but I wish to ask this question with regards to when to terminate a mentorship. Sometimes we get into a mentorship relationship with other people, like let's say someone is kind of mentoring me, and there's a point where you get so bonded with this person that to separate from him, even though you sense that the purpose of this mentorship relationship has been attained. Now, my question is actually this: how do you get to sense? How do you get to notice? How do you get to identify, to know that, hey, it is time for me to stop? I think I've attained the purpose of this relationship or mentorship relationship, and it's time for me to move on, without you being so bonded and glued to that person that you cannot quickly separate from him. Yeah, it's true, someone can separate, but how do you quickly identify that, yes, it's time for me to move on? Yes.
Yeah, I have to be very careful with reinforcing that point. The reason is this: it's not, it's not like the kind of things children are having when we're young and like, come, let's cut, let's cut the second jackass, or let's cut friendship. That's not the kind of thing we are talking about here. The truth is, the fact that you already identified that there is no added value again, it already shows. And I have to be clear with you people. There are times some mentors don't grow. They don't grow. Some preachers don't grow. Some pastors don't grow. Some leaders don't grow. And it comes to a point in their life that, look, if I'm discipling people, if some of you go about, you preach the gospel, and you go about, you do other things. It comes a point where you don't grow. You don't grow up enough. Your mentee grows up and meets you at that same level. There's always going to be the clash of the titans. There'll be clashes because sometimes your ideas are really going to be outdated. Your perspective to life will really be outdated. And that person had grown. Like I said, when the person was a child, if the person asked you about maybe prayer and fasting, you tell the person that pray for 5 days. drink water at this time. But the person had grown to a point that the person does not even need all those things. And when you're asking, the person drives back to those same thing. You just know that, this is a great person. This person is absolutely wonderful, but it's dragging me to something I've outgrown. And it can be very difficult. So you want to be sure that you want to always keep your relationships going. Even when you are not close into a mentorship relationship, you always need people in your life. That's the truth about it. And let's be clear with that. Your network is your net worth. And you want to always keep respecting the people who have helped you in your life. There were periods you so desperately needed them, and you want to remain always appreciative of that. When it comes to when the person becomes toxic, the person is come really toxic, you really want to sever that relationship. And you want to bring the person up to a discussion. It's not something you just avoid the person calls you, you don't take the call. That would be more disrespectful. If you've grown, and all of you here have grown up, and sometimes we may have different ways to approach it. If you discover the person becomes toxic, he's counseling you poorly, he's misguiding you, and it's an absolute thing you don't feel helpful, you want to discuss with the person and have a discussion with the person. But if it's something that is just the personal preferences to life, you don't need that. It's difficult to come and call the person and say, please, I'm moving on with my life right now. You've helped me. You don't do that because in the first instance, you guys did not make any agreement. There was no formal agreement. So you don't want to formally terminate anything that there was no formal agreement in the first instance. But as you grow up, you want to find out maybe people are meeting every week. And even right now, he still demands that you guys meet every week. You want to say, oh, no, sorry. We can reduce our meetings to maybe once in a month or quarterly because by the help of God, through your own mentorship, I've grown and I have other commitments now. You want to be that's why we talk about open conversation, open communication. You want to keep the communication open, okay? One thing that will solve a lot of problem is to be, if you're very concerned about the person's feeling being hurt, you should be concerned about that. But at the same time, you want to keep an open conversation, open communication, and you don't want to meet once every week when you feel like you don't have the time to do that. And you've asked a very vague question, so I'm trying to be very vague. I cannot be specific. You've mentioned some things very generalized, and so I'm also trying to give you. No, it's the same thing. You see, when you go to the hospital, you say, doctor, it's my back everywhere like that. It's paining me. The doctor will give you general body painkillers, right? So that it will anything that will be, you know. So in the same thing, when we ask questions and your question is very open, and of course it's an open environment, and I also want to understand, I don't know the intricacies of what was going on in that kind of relationship, but I feel like you are not comfortable with that kind of relationship. You feel like it's not helping you. You want to also define that. Maybe you may need to have a conversation, a peaceful one, not riot, people going to a call. And I don't know how the person is treating you in that kind of relationship, you know. Yeah, Philip is already informing me that we need to wrap up. We are far above time. So if you need other things and other things we need to chat, please, we can always continue this conversation. Myself, I've had a very busy day. I'm sorry if there are other questions and I'm not able to answer, but we have gone really far. Thank you so much for participating. Yeah, if there are other questions, we can see how to get. So I'm going to hand over to Philip right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It was such an impactful session. So impactful, life changing, I would say. I mean, destiny changing completely. And we are so grateful for the participants that came from all over. We are so grateful. And though we apologize for the network, we saw people logging in, logging out, logging in, logging out, different people coming. But all the same, we are very grateful because this program was not us. It's true we love crowds. It's true we love to see many people. But if 10 people, 12 people, 13 people, 15 people were impacted, I think the program has fulfilled its course. And just to wrap up, our guest was the Mr. Ako Tabe Abena, and those who came earlier heard about him and were so blessed and were so much impacted. And the organizers are Let's Grow Together and in partnership with the West African Youth Fellowship, an international organization, non-profit organization that whose aim is to raise impactful leaders for the West African countries. And I happen to represent them at the national level. So it was such a great moment together. And we thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your presence. And above all, we want to so thank Mr. Ako Abena for honoring our invitation and his time. We know he has a very busy schedule, very busy. So him granting us these 2 hours, I know it's very sacrificial. For this, we are so grateful. I hope I wish I wish at some level could just cash such a great amount into his account. We'll do that with time as God helps us. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if anybody wants to get to him privately, please just I think there's a group already. So you will just PV me in a group and I will lead you through on how to get to him privately. If you want to get more, if you have worries on anything, I will help you to pull you through. So that being said, thank you so much, and we wish you all a good night. And thanks for being with us on walking through the pathway of mentorship. Bye. You can exit the group. Oh, you can exit the group.